All right, guys, our next kind of archetype for movement is going to be your inside 50-50 roll, which is pretty much identical to an inside De La Riva spin. It's just executed from the feet or from the knees. So we'll go over the inside De La Riva spin real quick to 50-50. So Josh is attacking with a knee catch guard pass, and I'm replying with my inside De La Riva. I'm pressing into him, bringing him over me, and transitioning into 50-50. So you're traveling, I'm traveling through this person's legs, like, again, this time, traditional inside space, but I'm going backwards as I'm doing it. And that's what's allowing me to start to pivot myself into 50-50. So if I press, he presses back, I bring him over me, and rotate again. Let's do this one more time. Sorry, this one. Press, he presses back. Transitioning into 50-50. Now, this is going to, you're just traveling through this path, moving your body backwards, so like instead of going like straight facing forward where you're in the inside or the outside foot lock, you're actually rotating 180 degrees and back roll. That's what's actually happening, believe it or not, on the inside De La Riva, because you're already partway there. So if you're standing like that, if I was going, if you're like that one, you're like, cool. This is my inside 50-50. I'm using my right hand behind the knee to drag myself backwards through his legs, lift my hips, expand my frame, which is also, you're whacking with that guy. So try to keep that thing in the way to the extent possible, recognizing where the danger is going to come from. And I immediately try to get this person's hands away from me, towards the floor, onto the mat, put his hands to the mat if I can, and if I can't, at the very least pointing that turret in some other direction, so that the only viable shot that he's got is a swatting shot that I can easily see coming through only one slot, not something that can do almost anything. So this functions the exact same way on a high crotch. In a second. Right hand behind the knee. Dragging myself to my butt, back rolling through. So we're going to get to, again, the specifics on this motion, but this is another inside space attack, like front inside, not back inside. And what it's allowing me to do is rotate my body, changing my shape relative to my opponent as I do, drag myself through the gap, lift my hips high above the line of his knee as much as possible. Toes, ankle, knee, hip, getting as deep into the pocket of the hip as you possibly can, expanding our body and taking up space. That's going to allow us to kind of latch on and create this sort of friction and mechanical tightness that we're going to need in order to keep this guy from leaving, particularly when they are sweaty or later on in the fight. And you're going to have a lot of success with it because, again, the 50-50 is a very stable position by its nature, and it doesn't take a great deal of your resources in order to accomplish that. So you're also able to execute the other ideas at the same time, the multiple ideas that are in tension, that are competing for your attention, like being able to keep track of this person, being able to off-balance this person, being able to take their weapons somewhere else, being able to move behind them. You're able to serve all of these masters simultaneously. So there you go.